Hi guys, Change Developer here. This is another episode about digital nomad and the topic of travel. One of the things that you need to be careful about when traveling is basically understanding the places you're going to and the kind of people that will be around you. And the reason I'm saying this is because for you as a foreigner, there is always basically the challenge of what I call kind of like local challenges. So you have to understand that for you as a foreigner, it doesn't matter where you come from. The place where you go to, the people who live there, they will always have a certain perception about you, and you cannot predict if it is going to be friendly or hostile. And this is why when you go somewhere, it is always better to keep low profile and basically try to avoid places that, let's say, that are kind of poor or economically not so great. It could be a neighborhood that is known for, robberies or um, an area, a certain area of the city that is not so good. Or maybe it could be, you chose the wrong club and where the people in the club may not be necessarily, let's say, as open-minded as you are. And so, like, it is very important to always, and by the way, this is one of the reasons, I'm sorry, for shifting gears here a little bit. One of the reasons why a lot of people hate the school and why a lot of like people at a young age they really hate the school. This is because of the fact that they are like you are always being forced to sit under the same ceiling as the bully, the person that you don't like or the person who doesn't like you back. And there is always this kind of uncertainty where you cannot predict what this person could behave or how they behave, and whether they are going to hurt you, they're going to be mean to you, and so on and so forth. So if we take this and apply it to like almost anything everywhere, it is still pretty valid because you cannot predict or expect that everyone is going to like you, and especially if you are a foreigner. And there are a lot of reasons for that, because it's you have always to keep the mantra that not everyone you are seeing, regardless of they are smiling, they are they seem to be nice, it doesn't necessarily mean that they like you, and you have always to understand this. So, for me personally, I'm always avoiding areas that look not very international, that doesn't look very kind of, foreigners friendly. And basically, when I'm, let's say, dealing with someone, even if it's just like a few minutes thing or half an hour, I'm always checking the reviews, asking recommendations, and so on and so forth. Maybe like one of the kind of negative things that you will have to bear in mind is that you, if you get sick, you may need to like travel back just to meet with, your doctor or the person, your um, or the person that your family doctor, the person who you are familiar with, and they know everything about your health, and they are able to help you much more effectively. This way, you don't need to deal with all the nuances, of finding a doctor in a foreign country, because this is also more or less a challenge. There are like certain instances in which you may not actually have access. It could be for because of your insurance or because of other limitations, or maybe simply because the place you are in um, like have some challenges in its health sector. So long story short, you have always as a digital nomad or a traveler. Actually, it could apply. You don't have to be digital. Like it could apply to any traveler, really. You need to keep all of these things in mind and always kind of study your next step. Does this mean you have to be scared? You have to be afraid, or you have to be always like it doesn't mean that you have to be paranoid. It just means you need to be careful of who you're dealing with, the places you go to. Only deal with uh, like let's say people that you trust, or trusted, like well trusted people in general. So for me, for example, like I made a mistake of going to a club, basically for international people, that was kind of cheap, easy to access, and so on and so forth. And unfortunately, I met very unpleasant people, and because of that, I've decided to like change my strategy. So I go only to places where maybe people who are of a little bit of a higher class go to, and the experience was completely different, way better. And I learned here my lesson. Before I actually say this, and one thing I noticed, that the place I went to that was a bit more expensive actually had more foreigners like me and travelers who were very open-minded, like really, really open-minded people who, um, you could have a very intellectual conversation with. So this is why I always study the place I go to and plan ahead, like everything in advance to avoid, problematic situations or unpleasant situations that you could face. So I hope that you found this useful, and if you like my content, please follow, like, subscribe. Check out my profile page if you'd like to check out my courses or my Android apps. And if you'd like to donate, you can do that as well on my profile page or website. Thank you, and see you on the next video.